Tips from Trestle is brought to you by eMenu Choice Point of Sale, Wizox AI, and Benny Keith Foods. Welcome to Tips from Trestle, the Senior Living Food and Hospitality Podcast. This podcast explores the senior living industry with a unique focus on food, hospitality, and the community experience. I'm your host, Aaron Fish. My goal for this podcast: educate, inform, and inspire leaders in senior living. How? By bringing the resident and customer experience to the front of mind in our industry. We should bring the passionate spirit of food and hospitality to everything that we do and everyone we serve each and every day. So what are we waiting for? Let's get to it. With me today on Tips from Trestle is a dynamic duo from the United Group of Companies to talk all things lifestyles and sales. Francine Bass, VP of Sales, and Joanne DiMarco, VP of Lifestyle. Ladies, thanks for joining me today on Tips from Trestle.
Thank you, Aaron. It's our pleasure.
Yeah. So, Francine, tell us a little bit about United Group, how you approach your development and management of active adult communities, because it's something that we haven't really talked a lot on this podcast about for the listeners.
Well, at the United Group, we've really pioneered the active adult space. And that's one of the things that attracted me to the United Group. I fell in love with the niche of active adult. And I felt that United Group was doing it very well and very intentional and very much based not only on programming as I knew it, but creating lifestyles. And having something that solid, that rounded out by the 7 core concepts that Joanne will go into really attracted me. And it makes it easy to explain, easy to appeal, and create a lure for the prospective resident and help them visualize themselves in our community.
Yeah, active adult has always intrigued me because my background, I've never done anything really with active adult, because with my background in food, that's not something that normally see there. So
We have some
yeah, which I know we've talked about, Joanne and I have. So that's for another podcast. But one of the things that I saw on your website as I was researching United Group that I found really intriguing was your SUN program. And so, Joanne, I'd love for you to kind of talk a little bit about it, how it came about, and just kind of explain to the listeners why it's the way you view things.
Absolutely, Aaron. Thanks for asking. So we are an award-winning trademarked program. And the SUN program was actually our CEO's brainchild.
Okay.
And we have now run with it. It's really about the 7 core concepts that provide balance and speak to the core of who our communities are, who our residents are. It gives us the pillars of it to be able to take off from, but it's really gets individualized for each community. There's no 2 SUN programs that are the same.
Okay.
They all have the same core concepts, but we have communities that we couldn't get a book club off the ground if we wanted to. I mean, communities that have 7 of them of all different genres.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it allows it to be personalized for the community while still making sure that we're touching on all those areas that we know increase longevity, fullness, and balance of life.
Yeah, it's going to be so important as the active adult market grows and we see this surge of boomers coming in to be able to do the personalization, because that's something that I always hear about when we talk about food and other aspects of programming. So, Francine, one of the things that as we were planning and talking was the investment that you guys put into the lifestyle services. And why is that crucial for your company, and why should owners and investors really care about it?
Well, if you're thinking about entering the active adult space, it's, in my opinion, crucial.
Yeah.
We do a beautiful job of balancing out both resident-driven events and then also professionally driven events by our lifestyle team. But without it, we're just selling an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we like to think of it as we are selling a lifestyle that happens to become a gorgeous apartment, which is what we are. But the lifestyle, the community, as the community grows, as it builds, as the resident base builds, and we're curating the programming to be in alignment with the tastes, the likes, the dislikes of that resident base. It is being curated to that particular asset. It takes on a life of its own.
Yeah.
Sales and lifestyle are an ecosystem that thrives when we're paying attention to one another.
Yeah.
And I know I'm better and our teams feel better. We convert stronger when we are in excellent alignment with our lifestyle partners at any community. And this is something that's different from traditional senior living, where staffing models are much larger. We have smaller staffing models, which investors are also interested in because of scalability. And just cost, many of our professionals on site have excellent skill sets in different arenas. They cover for each other. They support one another. So I think when we're not paying attention to our programming or our lifestyle as investors, as owners, you might be missing the mark a little bit, and also revenue potential, because it does represent in most cases about, on average, 35 to 40% above Class A multifamily.
Okay.
That delta and the same amount in reverse below independent living as far as the rents we can charge. So it matters.
It does. Absolutely. Those numbers are surprising for me, especially knowing like how important margins are in the assisted living, independent living space. So it's definitely a unique approach.
I would also add too, it really contributes to the length of stay.
Yes.
It's almost off the charts. It's between 6 and 8 years.
Okay.
Is the average length of stay.
Yes. So that's important as well.
Yes.
We retain on average, at some communities, 80% of our rent.
So we're talking 6 to 8 years, 80-ish plus % retention because of the lifestyle program.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Well, that's a great segue to a question I wanted to ask you, Joanne, about how having a well-executed program enhances that day-to-day experience. And obviously it's helping with retention. So I guess let's talk a little bit about that day-to-day experience. How does it enhance our lifestyles program?
So if it's done properly, there's always something to do and someone to do it with. So if you want to just sit on your balcony and quietly read that day, you can. But after you're done reading for an hour, if you want to find something to do and someone to do it with, there's always something going on if it's done well. But it's not just about busy work. It's not just about giving them something to do.
Yeah.
It's also about giving them something impactful, something that interests them, something that's different. Also, a lifestyle program done correctly is also the one thing that if a resident wanted to leave, they can't buy. And that's that connection to the community, the connection to the staff, the connection to other residents. And it's something that sometimes their son or daughter may say, why didn't you come live with me? And we see them come back time and again because they miss that connection.
Yeah. No, I can totally see it, right? Like I'm doing all these great fun things and then all of a sudden I'm not. So coming back makes sense. I've had some conversations around the social isolation topic. And so you mentioned some really eye-opening statistics, Joanne. I'd love for you to share those with the listener.
Yeah, it seems almost hard to believe, but 1 in 4 seniors aged 65 and over in the United States are socially isolated. 25%. And in that same demographic, seniors 65 and over in the US, 43% of them feel lonely. It's absolutely staggering.
Yeah.
It contributes to a significantly higher health risk. Long-term analysis has found that social isolation increases early death by 32%. And if you add loneliness to that, another 14%. So someone who's isolated and feeling lonely, 46% increase of early death. This is a statistic that is almost parallel to obesity, smoking, in terms of early death. It's really staggering. And isolation and loneliness can increase the dementia risk by 50%. And this is something that I saw this personally with my mom. Prior to the pandemic, my mother had early to moderate stage. And then she lived in an apartment by herself. She still worked. She's in her 80s, but she still worked. She was going to lunches with her friends. She was going shopping and all of that. And then pandemic hit and she's by herself in the apartment.
Yeah.
And all of our family members, at least one person in the household was essential worker. So I could go sit outside my mother's door and talk to her while she was inside. My daughters would do the same thing. Within a year of the pandemic hitting, my mother was going into assisted living memory care. And within another 7 or 8 months, she was going into skilled nursing with memory care. And then she passed away another year after that.
Wow.
It's
just
crazy.
snowballed. Insane.
Yeah. So I experienced it and I understand it at a very deep level. And If you engage socially, you're 24% less likely to experience cognitive decline and 32% fewer depression symptoms. And here's a crazy 130% higher risk of coronary heart disease and 32% higher stroke risk.
I'm just sitting here as you rattle off these percentages thinking, well, it should be like 3% or 5%, but did he say 30 or in the case of dementia, 50%? Like, it's just mind numbing. And so clearly we have to figure out some way to avoid all of this. So let's look at the happy side of this.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about how the SUN program that you have actually addresses this, because I know that's a part of it.
Technology continues to drive changes in senior care, and that includes food service. eMenu Choice is an award-winning point-of-service application for managing the dining function in senior living communities. This mobile, touchscreen-enabled software enhances the dining experience for residents while streamlining processes for staff. The flexibility and functionality of eMenu Choice makes it an effective solution for any type of senior living environment, from independent and assisted living to skilled nursing facilities. It works for production kitchens or restaurant-style service with options for per meal or a la carte pricing, and accommodates a variety of payments, including bill to account, meal credits, and credit cards. Created by a senior care provider with more than a century of experience serving older adults, eMenu Choice eliminates communication barriers between staff and residents while enabling person-centered choices and greater resident satisfaction. eMenu Choice, transforming dining for senior living.
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, we curate our programs by taking into account what the residents are looking for. So we always want to find things. Because when we talk about lifestyle holistically, lifestyle is really, it's what your diet is, your exercises, it's the things that you like to do, hobbies and interests. It's whether you are an urbanite or a suburbanite. It's so many different things. It's a work-life balance. It's a stage of life. And so when you curate a lifestyle program, you have to really thoughtfully put together a lifestyle program that people want to participate in. And you also have to invite them in creative ways. So many times people are inclined to put out a calendar and think that that's going to entice somebody to come to an event. You really have to invite them almost personally. You're at one event and another one's coming up. You talk about that. Even if you know that you have a big event and it has a lot of decor, if you start to decorate the day before and the residents are kind of walking by and they're getting intrigued and they're starting to remember that that's coming up and you're decorating. So you're telling them all about it and maybe the food or the entertainment. So you really have to give them a variety of things because not everybody likes the same things.
Right.
And the combination of resident-led events combined with the staff-led events is really what sets our program apart. The resident-led events, you can't just set it and forget it either. There's supported events. So it's really, we like to try to get over 100 events a month on our lifestyle calendars because you want to have something for everyone. You want to have something that intrigues them, that challenges them. And we see all kinds of different programs start. So we have a lifestyle coordinator at our property in Sarasota, Florida, and she lived in Africa for a period of time. And so she did an education and lifelong learning event for us where she talked about what it was like to live there and the custom. And she prepared a certain soup. It was some sort of a peanut soup that she prepared. And she gave it to the residents to try after she presented. And what that started was this whole program where now people came up to her and said, hey, I lived here for a while. I'd love to talk about that. What started as staff-led now is resident-led. And
very cool.
And when they're putting it on, they are inviting all of their friends that either live in the community or maybe are not part of it, that they just want to come. And then
Francine's over there thinking happy thoughts as you're saying that.
It's true because it increases our resident referrals in its base are incredibly important.
Yeah.
We can really drive them because of the strong programming. And the reality is we train our sales experts to invite prospective residents, not just random events of convenience, but the more meaningful. And because in combination at a stabilized community, we can offer over 100 experience per month. That's a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
And to level that up even more, the introduction to the lifestyle coordinator becomes like a discovery. There's discovery with sales. We're learning about the prospective resident. We're learning our sales cycle. We've learned what behaviors can make it that can abbreviate it. And sometimes we can't. But what we found is like the more involvement of our lifestyle professionals on site, we can move it along more often than not, and our conversions go up. But that's with meaningful event attendance. And then also with the promise that we are listening and we want to know what matters to you as far as events. But during the sales process, bar none, it's one of the best sales ever.
Yeah, I can imagine. And like I said, that's a key component of active adult. So it has to be robust.
In some spaces, it's like, well, did you invite them to an event? How many events? You're counting the event attendance, but what is the meaning behind the events?
Right.
And these are creative people. So when they step their toe into sales, magic happens. So lifestyle coordinators try to recruit them all.
Well, what I also think works very well is that Francine and I are very much in sync, and we're very much collaborative on how to take the events from the lifestyle program and put them into the hands of the salespeople. So we are constantly in communication.
It doesn't, sometimes it cross-pollinate. There's resident-driven events, prospect-driven events, convergence, fusions of the two. And we're not saying it goes perfect all the time, but with good communication, good understanding. And I think smaller site teams helps too. That allows us to get lost in translation, and they're kind of forced to help each other.
Definitely. We're here at the Florida Senior Living Association conference. You ladies are presenting on this topic of lifestyle as a marketing and sales tool. One of the things in your presentation is you talk about the concept of unreasonable hospitality, and a lot of people in the industry are reading the book. And so, Joanne, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about how you guys embed it into your lifestyle program and how that helps you with the resident engagement.
Certainly. One of the things I like to talk about is the gentleman who wrote that book. His name is Will Guidara, and he worked for Women's Wear Hospitality Group. And then he wanted to take ownership of a restaurant. And so Danny Myers sold 11 Madison Park. And while Will Guidara was there, they became the #1 restaurant in the world. And he credits that to what he calls unreasonable hospitality. And I follow this man. I follow him so much to the point where after I read his book, I gifted that book to our CEO and our COO for Christmas that year. And our company has taken that and ran with it. Our manager achieved this year with the Disney Institute. And so we took classes in Disney hospitality, which I worked for Disney a million years ago. So for me, that was special. But what it is unreasonable hospitality stems from the above and beyond pursuit of finding moments and memories and creating moments and memories. And he cites the aha moment for him where he had some diners in 11 Madison Park, and he was bussing a table for one of his team members. And there were 4 foodies that were not from New York City. They had gone there on a food journey, and they were talking about all the great restaurants that they went to in New York City. And one of them said, yeah, but we never got to have a New York street hot dog.
Yes.
And so he heard that, quickly put the plates down, ran down the street to the hot dog vendor on the corner, bought this, $3 dirty water dog, they call them in New York City, brought it back to the chef, and now had to convince the chef to serve it. And so the chef cut it up into 4 perfect pieces, and he did a little swish of ketchup and a little swish of mustard and a cannella sauerkraut and a cannella of relish. Yes, thank you. Francine's heard of the story a few times. But so I train that in our hospitality training. And when I train on lifestyle, not just the lifestyle people that come through my training program, it is the maintenance folks. It is the property manager, the assistant property manager, expertise, concierge, everybody goes through it because it's important that they get that all the way across the board. And so if you are on the unreasonable pursuit of finding those things that make something special, like when he presented this hot dog to these 4 diners, he said, and so you won't go home with any culinary regrets. Here is hot dog, New York City hot dog. And he said the reaction that he got from them was so unbelievable. All the hundreds of thousands of dollars of food that he has seen transfer, that was the best reaction he had ever
I can imagine.
So he wanted to make sure his restaurant would find those opportunities not doing the shame thing. It's so easy to just get, oh, and you're celebrating something. Here's the champagne toast. What if they don't like champagne?
Right.
Finding what makes it special for each. And that's what we want them to do with our lifestyle program. Everybody has the birthday parties, either at the beginning of the month or the end of the month for all the birthdays in the month.
Yeah.
As someone whose birthday is smack dab in the middle of the month, I probably am not even thinking about my birthday yet. And then all of a sudden, if it's the end of the month, it's in my rear view and I'm not thinking about it. So we have them do things like putting a Mylar balloon on the door handle of a resident's room. We have all the staff members sign birthday cards that go to the residents. We make sure our staff members know it's a resident's birthday. So if they see them, if they're doing maintenance in their apartment or they see them passing as they're walking the property, they wish them a happy birthday on their birthday.
So important. All of those little touches. Francine, one of the things that when I think about a lifestyle program, same thing with food too, but there are so many visual opportunities, like to show what you're doing and to share that, especially with our social media obsession with the 90-second video kind of phrase that we're living in. So when you think about social media, how do you guys leverage it? How can a property management company use that to amplify those lifestyle initiatives and get those prospective residents in the door and the current ones engaged?
For over a century, Benny Keith has been a trusted leader in the food service industry. As a broadline distributor, we offer an extensive selection of products, delivering to 21 states through 10 distribution centers. We can help you create a thriving culinary culture by pairing quality products with customized solutions that elevate your residents' dining experience. Our team of registered dietitians provide unmatched customer service by modifying menus, selecting recipes, ensuring regulatory compliance, and more. Quality, value, and service are at the heart of everything we do. Benny Keith Foods puts the care back in healthcare.
We have a program at the United Group. It's called Socially Fit. And that's our way of managing the behaviors of our site teams and encouraging them and rewarding them for being socially fit, if you will. So the amount of times they're posting during the course of a week and monitored, but really it's the content that we try to apply most of all. And again, another example of working hand in hand with Learn Lifestyle Department, the content that's going to create excitement, that's going to support different marketing. For example, right now we're running an adult child campaign in Florida, and our social media posts are supporting that campaign. And then geofencing is supporting that campaign. And it's all very holistic.
Yeah.
But as a team, from the site team, the people that are in Joanne's department and sales department, this is augmenting the feature floor plans and the different ways we build excitement, but without utilizing and leveraging the visualization of the excitement or missing a big opportunity. We take it very seriously at the United Group, and we found when we're not in compliance, being our best self socially, we can tie it to, not we're shooting for, but we know triggering that, amplifying will turn up performance. So again, use it. There's great partners out there. We partner with One Day.
Okay.
But I know there's tons of them, but even internally to each other, video messaging, I think just levels up communication. And also I should mention this, it's really important in the sales journey, using it to customize follow-ups. The pre-tour experience, the post-tour experience. Yeah. We really utilize that, and we've learned from our hospitality partners how crucial that is leading up to the tour and introducing other team members before the tour. The acclimation of the experience of touring the community and considering the community can really be rounded out by leveraging your video.
No,
it's
so important to do that. So as we wrap up here, Joanne, I have to pick your brain on, because that was some sort of tactical thing that listeners can take away from this. There's been a lot of great stuff, probably 100 things they could learn from what we just talked about. But when you think about simple yet impactful activities that a community could introduce to improve connection, to combat loneliness, the social isolation that we talked about, what are 2 or 3 that they could think about maybe trying to start to implement so they can have some success in that area?
Yeah. So one of the simplest things and very inexpensively done as well is almost like a bingo card with different fun facts about residents. You ask them all to tell you maybe when their birthday is, or maybe what they did for a living. And then you put those things on a bingo card, and then you all go around the room and ask the residents, when's your birthday? Right? And you find somebody whose birthday is in February, let's say. So just getting to, it's a game, but to know each other, sparks conversation. Also, again, sometimes it's just the simplest things is just 3 truths and a lie. And so you tell, 3 things, and they'll have a lot of fun with it. And you'll find out things that, sometimes can spur another activity just based on what somebody did for a living. I was in one of our communities and a gentleman told me that he used to be a geologist. And I said, would you ever want to talk to the other residents about that? He goes, yeah, because after I was a geologist, I taught it.
But we get to work with fascinating people.
Yeah.
Best job in the universe because they didn't get where they are in life by not having a journey. And we get to live that journey with them through programming. It's so much more than
all those shared experiences. It's literally this like vast wealth of information and knowledge. It's so great. So, well, ladies, I appreciate you taking time away. I'm looking forward to your presentation tomorrow here at the conference. For the listeners who want to learn more about the SUN program or what you guys are doing with United Group, please share your contact information and where they can learn more.
Sure. So our website is UGOC.com. So United Group of Companies.com. And my email address is my first name, JOANNE, my last name, DIMARCO @UGOC.com.
Perfect.
And I could be reached at Francine, FRANCINE .BASS, BASS, like the fish, UGOC.com. All questions are welcome.
Perfect.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I appreciate this time. This has been a fascinating conversation, and I'm looking forward to another podcast where we talk about how you're running some food programming in an active adult. So more to come. So thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.
So there it is, everybody. Another one in the books. Thanks again for tuning in. Please follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us on social media at Tips from Trestle. You can also learn more about the work I do by following me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. And be sure to check out Trestle Hospitality Concepts at www.trestlehospitalityconcepts.com. I'm your host, Aaron Fish, and this has been another episode of Tips from Trestle.